Hey guys, this is part 2 on fat acceptance, body image, and how people actually gain and lose weight. If you haven't seen my first video, you can check it out here or in the description box below. So now we'll be going into why people gain weight and also some life changes that I hope you guys lose that weight if need be. Now notice how I said life changes. These are things you guys need to do on an everyday, consistent basis for the most part. So why do people gain weight? People gain weight because of the following: poor food choices, / sugary beverage consumption / dining out, and lower physical activity rates. Now, I'm no nutritionist, but I can tell that a grilled chicken wrap with lettuce and tomato is a lot better than a pizza, or a turkey sandwich is a lot better than a cheeseburger. Now, the honest problem here is that people love convenience. I mean, hey, if it's short and easy, sounds good, right? I mean, we're all so busy. What's a slice or two of pizza gonna do to you, right? Well, what it does do to you, it builds bad habits that you tend to follow throughout the rest of your life. Now, those 2 or 3 main spots that you go to, that pizza place or that burger joint, probably won't have healthy choices because they're designed for convenience. Let's face it, convenient food tastes amazing. But now, what happens is you're stuck between choosing chili fries over fried chicken instead of a salad over a wrap or a falafel or any other healthy alternatives. So just the way the world is set up, these kind of trends can happen. And also a problem here is that people just kind of view food as food. They don't really see what it can do to your body. Now let's look at this scenario. We have Joe Schmo. Now Joe Schmo's an average guy, and let's see what he eats for today. Let's keep track of what he's going through. So we'll have food and calories. Now, let's say for breakfast he eats 2 pancakes, some scrambled eggs made with 2 eggs, and some OJ. We got 2 pancakes, 2 eggs of scrambled eggs, and some OJ. 2 pancakes has about 140 calories. The 2 eggs has about 150. And the OJ has about 40. Now what about lunch? Let's stick with the theme of convenience. Let's say Joe Schmo goes to McDonald's, one of the most famous fast food places ever. So for lunch he gets a Big Mac, an order of large fries, and a soda. So we have the Big Mac, large fries, and a soda. The Big Mac has about 560 calories. And the large fries has about 222-ish. And the soda has about 182 calories. Now for dinner. Let's go for a nice steak, some mashed potatoes, maybe some mixed veggies, and another soda because Joe likes a soda. So we have the steak, we have the mashed potatoes, we have the soda, and the mixed veggies. For the steak, that's about 387 calories. And for the mashed potatoes, that's about 215. Soda's 182. And the mixed veggies, let's say he's having 2 servings, about 74. If you add them all up, Joe Schmo is eating about 2,400 and... what's my numbers here? Around 2,410 calories. Now, if you're using the standard 2,000 calorie diet, he's 410 calories over. So, that's kind of bad. So, I mean, is it like unchangeable? No, you can definitely change some of that. Maybe you didn't have to get those 2 sodas or those fries. These little subtle changes can definitely make a difference. However, sometimes it might not even be that simple. This is without anything extra. So, let's say a simple bag of chips plus 200. Maybe Nature Valley granola bar, and maybe a little bag of peanuts. Now you went from 2,410 to 2,810, and that's a lot more significant. And a lot of people don't even realize that a bag of chips and a Nature Valley bar, something really small and minuscule, can really add up. This alone is 400 extra calories, and you might not even realize it. So this is where the problem really lies. People just not paying attention to what they're eating and just slowly racking on the pounds. And by the time like 2 years comes, they've gained 30 pounds and they have no idea why. This is it right here. Now this was a very loose example, but you guys can see how easily people can gain weight. Especially if, let's say, for a bag of chips, you eat 3 bags. 200 calories a piece, that's 600. That's 40 calories more than the Big Mac, and you're probably not even full. And what I'm about to say might be shocking to you, but do you guys know how many calories it takes to burn 1 pound of body fat? 3,500. takes 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound of fat. And if you guys saw Joe Schmo, he was over by about 800 calories. And not only was he over, how is he going to burn 3,500? Even if he got down to 800, he will still have another 35 to go. So it can be kind of a daunting task if you don't pay attention to what you're eating. However, if you do, these changes can be more than simple. And you can lose 3,500 calories in about 4 days. So slowly progressing, you guys can get it. Even in a week, if you guys don't want to take it that fast. So don't be scared by this number. You guys can do it, and I believe in you. And don't even get me started on people who actually go to restaurants. I know some people who say, hey, I want some bang for my buck. Let's go to some quality place. Let's not go to McDonald's. Let's go to an actual diner, a restaurant. You know, a place that's well established, not a fast food chain restaurant. That's very dangerous. They say, hey, I'm just going to get something for myself. You know, I'm going out with friends. I'm just get one meal. An average meal when going out to a diner or a restaurant can have about 1,128 calories. This is on average. This is not like the highest restaurant calorie intake. No, this is an average. Now, this is almost twice of a Big Mac, and that's not good. That amount of calories alone is over half of your daily recommended intake going off a 2,000 calorie diet. And if you take some wings, for example, wings are also 200 calories like the bags of chips. And one wing isn't going to fill you up. You have about 6, right? So 6 wings a piece, 200 calories a piece. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 100 calories alone. No sides, no nothing else, just those 6 wings. Not only are the calories just humongous, but everything in the meal is also blown out of proportions. Once again, going off that average meal, it can have roughly 151% more of your daily sodium intake, about 89% of your entire daily value of fat, 83% of daily value of saturated fat, and 60% of your daily cholesterol. And that's not even counting dessert. And I know we all love dessert, especially this guy. That's about another 500 calories. And so on and so forth, example after example, you guys can see how these calories can actually rack up. And calories isn't the least of your worries, you know. You also have the stuff that's actually in the food, like the fat, saturated fat that you're not thinking about. And that can also lead to these hypertension, high cholesterol, all these bad risk factors that I was talking about earlier in the first video. So if you're going out to eat, it might be fun and all, but just stay conscious. Now let's go into a topic most people won't even consider. Why is diet soda bad for you? Well, first of all, every soda is bad for you. So you guys should just always drink water. If you don't, we'll find you and I'll make you drink water. Your body's made of 60% water, and that's a lot of water. So always make sure you're constantly drinking water. But in all seriousness, why is drinking diet soda bad? Well, it's bad for a couple reasons. Alright, so we all know our taste buds, right? Taste buds, right on our tongue, they work in conjunction with our brain. That's my poorly drawn brain. Now, whenever you intake something, your taste buds send a signal to your brain about the food that you're eating. If you eat something sweet, it probably has sugar. Sugar equals energy, and you're good to go. You have your calories. Now, what diet soda does is, because there's no calories in it, it tricks your brain. It says, hey, we're getting something sweet. And your brain's like, okay, sounds good. Looks like we're having some calories. And then what happens? Later on, your body realizes you don't have calories, and now you're at a deficit. Now your brain's like, well, what just happened? Well, I guess to fix that, let's just eat more. And if you guys keep constantly drinking diet soda, this effect will happen to the point where your brain literally just won't know what to do. Your brain will just say, well, I don't know if we're not having calories because we're hungry, or we're not having calories because of the diet soda. Well, just be on the safe side, let's just eat more. That way we make sure we have calories. And diet soda can also lead to hunger in this way. So don't confuse your brain. Make it a happy brain. So with all these processed foods that we have going on nowadays, it's really easy to throw your body off its equilibrium. And that's where all these negative side effects start to take place. Lastly, we have our lower physical activity rates. A lot of our jobs nowadays are our office jobs. We sit down on a desk. Even teaching, you just have to kind of stand all day. You don't really need to move around. And this is what leads to our lower physical activity rates. I know a lot of people say they don't have time to work out or they don't have time to exercise. And I'll make sure I get to that in a minute. Now let's look at an average person's day. They start at home. They travel. They go to their jobs. And they go back home. Now let's say you wake up, you get ready to go to work. You're being very sedentary there. Just kind of changing, getting to the shower, eating breakfast. You're traveling, you're going to your car. You're sitting down for however long it takes you to get to your job. Also very sedentary. If you do work a desk job, you're sitting all day at your job. And then you go to eat lunch. You're probably not jogging while you're eating lunch. You're probably sitting down as well. Again, very sedentary. And when you get home, you're probably tired from work, so You go sit down on the couch all day, and once you're done with that, you go to your bed, you relax, and you sleep, and do it all again the next day. Again, very sedentary. Now, I'm not saying all you guys do that, but it does happen, and as you can see, being very sedentary across the board in everything that we're doing in life. Now, most people are saying they don't have time to work out. They don't have time to exercise. That's honestly one of the biggest excuses I've ever heard in my life. I really dislike that excuse. And in a couple more minutes, I will get to why. And now, time for the good stuff. Things you guys can physically do to start changing your habits and develop a newer and healthier lifestyle. So let's jump right into it. Make sure you're eating a full, healthy breakfast in the morning. Now, your body's been fasting for the entire time you went to bed, usually about 8 hours. And unless you ate directly before you went to bed, a little bit of time before that as well. So make sure you guys eat a healthy breakfast. Now, when I say healthy breakfast, I don't mean bacon, eggs, pancakes, toast, a bunch of syrup. I mean things like oatmeal. Oatmeal is really clean food that really sustains you. Or maybe you can have a smoothie, chock full of nutrients and vitamins, very easy to make. Just throw it in the blender. Or even egg white sandwich in wheat bread, lettuce, tomato. Very simple, very healthy. These things can also not be too expensive. You can get 5 boxes of oatmeal for about $10 at the store. A pack of eggs costs what, $3, $4, and it'll last you for about a whole week. You can buy a pack of bread, also a large quantity there, and a bunch of fruit and vegetables. Shouldn't be too expensive if you guys really want to start changing things. Also, stay away from cereal. Cereal is usually like 80% of the time chock full of sugar. It's geared towards kids, so naturally it will have a lot of sugar. So really start making sure you're looking at the nutrition labels on your cereals, and if it has about 9 grams of sugar or less, should be pretty alright. Anything more, and you should start being concerned about whether you should be eating it or not. Also, for that matter, start looking at all your nutrition labels, that way you know exactly how much of what is in your food, and you can start to keep track of what you're eating. Because if you lose track, that's where all these examples that I've been bringing up start to come into play. So just watch out for those nutrition labels on all your foods, and you should be developing some smart habits. Don't go out to eat with friends. I mean, if you must. I mean, you're not just going to dupe your friends, right? So at least eat something beforehand, that way you're not as hungry and don't eat as much. And in all honesty, for all you know, the nice special sauce that they can have in your ribs or whatever meat you're having could just be the grease from the skillet with some barbecue sauce and salt. Like, you really don't know what's going into your food, which is another reason why making your own food is a really beneficial process. Also, convince your friends to start eating healthier. If you guys all do it together, you guys can have a nice little healthy fitness group going. You guys can all support each other in your health. You guys can start developing a nice little cycle of healthy. And you know what they say, birds of a feather eat healthy together. Eat salad. I know this is a no-brainer, but you guys don't have to stick to just boring leaf lettuce all the time. You guys can spice it up. Get some cranberries, some almonds, some broccoli, maybe some cut up egg whites, anything you want. Well, not anything. Don't throw some donuts in there, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Make it spicy, make it happy, make it awesome. Don't just stick to the regular boring salad. The more you do that, the more vitamins and nutrients you have in there, so it ends up being better overall, and it might taste better. However, what you should not be doing is adding a lot of dressing onto it, because a lot of dressings tend to have a lot of fat and just are only there for taste and just kind of hurt you in the long run. So just kind of minimize the dressings that you're using, and if you can, just take something natural like vinegar, or if you don't like vinegar, nothing, but just try to minimize the dressings. Always drink water. I'm going to keep saying this again and again. Water is one of the most important things for your body. Everything in your entire body runs off water, and there's been studies showing that, I forgot the number, I think it was 2 or 5% of an increase can happen to your body if you're properly hydrated. So you'd be like a superhuman. You'd be the super you. Just gotta stay hydrated. Limit your TV time. Limit your video game time. Limit your computer time. Limit your phone time, and limit your book time. Reading's great, but it's very sedentary. Don't eat to get full. That hormone leptin that we talked about in the first video takes about 15 to 20 minutes to start activating. So if you guys are eating, make sure you kind of sit, talk with your friends, or just kind of chill, and wait 15 to 20 minutes. If you're still hungry, then you can go up and get seconds, because then you'll know the leptin has taken effect, and if you're still hungry, you need more food. However, since you are going up for seconds, make sure you keep these portions a lot smaller, because if you go for a bigger portion, which you tend to do because you're hungry, you just end up eating a lot of excess calories. So just make sure you're watching what you're doing. Start moving. What I do to stay active is, if I see something that I can jump on, or something that's really high, I jump on it. I try to see if I can grab that thing that's really high. I just do little subtle things that I don't need to stop my daily routine for in order to stay active. Now, me personally, I always make sure I dedicate at least some time to physical activity. Even if it's only 2 minutes, 120 seconds. I've literally worked out for 2 minutes before, and it really helped me. If you guys can just start and go for it, I believe that every single one of you can have an extremely better quality of life. Now, for those of you who say you don't have enough time, when I get home from classes, I do a handstand. Right when I get settled in, I get comfortable, I do some push-ups. Right before work, maybe do some squats. And maybe after work, I come and do some more handstands. All those in conjunction together might take me about 5 minutes, maybe. Each individual set of exercise that I did, maybe 60 seconds. If you guys can't spare 60 seconds of your day, then you guys are working way too hard and you guys are probably stressed out. And guess what relieves stress? Exercise. It's a win-win situation. You can't avoid it. You just gotta love it, embrace it, and do it. And honestly, if you just start, if you try, you guys would be so much better off than if you just kind of say, oh, that's kind of too hard. I don't want to get up. And if you guys are tired, just go for it. Just do it. Because if this is your energy expenditure, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do at least 60 seconds. There's no shame in doing 60 seconds of exercise. It's something. So if you do something a little bit, you have a little bit more energy. And maybe tomorrow you go for 2 minutes. Then you spend a little bit of more energy. And when you come back, you have more energy. Maybe the third day, you go for 3 minutes. And overall, you're getting a lot more energy. And so on and so forth. Your entire energy expenditure starts to increase. And then doing 1 minute exercise isn't actually that difficult anymore. Maybe in 2 weeks, you'll get to half an hour of exercise. I'm being really optimistic, but it's definitely possible. You guys can definitely achieve it. And I think you guys can do very well if you just do it. Maybe you guys will even start to really like what you're doing. You start to love exercise. And then you guys will slowly but surely get to the body of your dreams. But remember, you guys can't get there if you don't put in the work, alright? So you guys always gotta make sure you're trying your best and working hard, alright? You gotta work. Well, that was it. Some fun facts and tips on how people gain weight and how to lose it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And if you guys want me to make another video on specific topics or workouts, I would love to do so. Make sure you comment down below, share this video with your friends, like it, have them like it, subscribe, and make sure you guys keep coming back so I can continue to show you how simple fitness can be. Later, guys.